gonna make you fall in love with SVP. SVP.
Looking for something new? We thought so. SVP is mixing things up, and digital TV, it'll never be the same.
SVP, we're family. We're gonna make you fall in love with SVP.
Download the SVP app today on Roku, Apple, and Fire TV. Watch us. You know why?
We're gonna make you fall in love with SVP.
Well, see, when you look at somebody like me, I grew up here. There's nothing you can tell me about Memphis that I don't already know. There's nothing you can tell me about Memphis.
From the boardroom to the streets.
that I don't already know.
With Mike from Memphis, man. Together, we can fix things. Really?
When you say, I want to be treated fairly, and I want a voice.
Yeah.
I want
He saw things weren't fair, so he chose to run for mayor. You get up and do something when you really care. It's Memphis 360.
I'm with you. In the meantime,
It's Memphis 360.
in the meantime, in between time, we got folks shooting people up out the frame. Anybody said a word. We've become
Man.
accustomed to people dying in this city.
Yeah. It's Memphis 360.
Turning the TV on and the news and see our loved ones and see young people that are out of control. And now see, okay. We talk about incarceration. We talk about the youth. We talk about giving them the ability. We talk about investing in young people and investing in the community. See, I hate ignorance. I hate when people make decisions about things and they make statements and they haven't done their research.
How can you fix the problem when you don't even know what the problem is?
We need some help in this city.
It's Memphis 360.
See, I hate ignorance.
It's Memphis 360. Man.
And good evening. We'd like to welcome you to another edition of Memphis 360, the television show we say we like to go from the boardroom to the streets. It has been an amazing week here in the city of Memphis. The weather has been hot, abnormally hot. The day's a little bit cooler, and that is a blessing. I want to talk real quick about the county commission meeting that occurred on last Tuesday. General sessions, I want to say thank you to all of the staff members that came out and spoke in front of the commission. Young ladies, out of about 130 employees in general sessions, about 115, 119 are females. And they were asking for the $5,000 stipend in conjunction with the 5% raise that Mayor Lee Harris has proposed for the employees of Shelby County. Now, the end result, the mayor's administration came back and said they want to give all of the employees in Shelby County a stipend. That's what they said. And they're supposed to have a proposal prepared by Friday, which is tomorrow, to present to the city council, which is going to be a special meeting that they're calling next Wednesday at 2 o'clock. But I'm going to tell you, those staffers from General Sessions, man, they were amazing. They got up there and spoke eloquently, let the county commission know exactly why they need those raises. When you have people that have bachelor's and master's degrees, when we're trying to keep continuity within the courtrooms, we're trying to keep institutional knowledge in general sessions, you got to pay these people. You got individuals that have been there for 5 to 10 years that are still making $30,000 a year with bachelor's and master's degrees. You're not going to be able to keep those people, man. They can go work at Amazon for $17 an hour or go work for UPS or somebody else, and I can't say that I would blame them because you got to look out for your families. I definitely want to keep all of those young people that we have working in the court system. Clerk Brown said, Michael, go fight for these people. And Clerk Brown actually showed up at the county commission meeting, and I think that gave a boost to the young people that were down there speaking their piece. And we had some older people too. We had Miss Tidwell, who has been with Shelby County for 37 years. I think we had a couple of other individuals that spoke that had been with Shelby County for at least 30 years as well. And it has just been a fight. Talked to Mayor Lee Harris today, actually, in regards to trying to put something together for these young people. And I'm hoping that they follow through on it. I don't care if it's a retention bonus, which would be good because we're losing people left and right. But these young people, they need a boost. When you got gas that's $5 a gallon, pretty much. You got eggs, $3 a gallon. Bread, some breads, when I went to Kroger, blew my mind. $3 or $4 for a loaf of bread. So we definitely want to infuse some money into these young people. We don't want to give it to them and they leave and they run off and go somewhere just because we didn't give them a bonus or something like that. That's not it. But we definitely want to try to maintain the young people in this city. We always say we don't want to see them coming through the court system. We got to give them a reason not to come through the court system. We got to give them the ability to be able to take care and support their families. Government jobs used to be the job to have. The benefits were good, the pay was good, and somewhere along the way it kind of fell off a little bit. The business of government is to provide quality core services to the citizens that pay those taxes and the inhabitants of those different areas, be it the city of Memphis, be it the county, or what have you. Me as a taxpayer, that's what I pay my tax dollars for, so that I can have police services, so that I can have fire services, so that I can have judicial systems that are shored up and that are working, and any other, cut grass along the highways and different things like that. And I hope that's what you're paying your money for as well. Hey, I want to thank you. I'm going to take a real quick commercial break. I got a good show for you tonight. I have Judge Bill Anderson, who is the individual that pretty much put it together, running Veterans Court. So all of you veterans out there that are unfortunately coming through the court system for whatever reasons, because we have a lot of veterans, hopefully you're going to get sent to the Veterans Court to Judge Anderson. But we're going to talk a little bit about that and try to find out some of the nuances of Veterans Court, and also find out about these young judges that we're going to bring on tonight. Try to humanize them. We see them, they're judges. Yeah, they are judges, but guess what? They're humans too. And I just found out that both of these judges are native Memphians. And once we have Judge Anderson come on, then we're going to switch it up, take another break, and we're going to bring on Judge Ronald Lucasy, who is the judge in General Sessions Criminal Court, Division 12. Don't touch that dial. We'll be right back after this commercial break.
Hey folks, it's Issa Haddad here. I got some good news and a special invitation for you to come see me here at Sunrise, Collierville. Come on down, check out my inventory with new, pre-owned, and certified vehicles to choose from. I can get you finance when no one else can. Come on by, bring your family. I treat you like family. Come see me, Issa, here at the #1 dealership in the Mid-South, 4605 Houston Levy Road, Sunrise, Collierville. Come on down, check out my inventory with Hundreds of vehicles to choose from, pre-owned, new, and certified.
Good news from Sunrise Chevrolet. Get in your new vehicle today. Come on in, ask for Esau. Bankrupt, slow pay, bad credit, it's okay. Let Esau put you in your brand new truck or car today. When you shop at Sunrise Chevrolet, Collierville.
And don't forget, ask for me, Issa.
For over 20 years, OPOX has been keeping the Mid-South
warm in the winter and cool in the summer.
OPOX is family owned and operated, so our family will take care of yours every step of the way. And right now, you can double up and save. Buy a new AC unit and get 50% off a new furnace to match it. Count on OPOX for fast and professional heating and cooling services. Count on OPOX.
And hello, we'd like to welcome you back to Memphis 360. Yay! And we have Judge Bill Anderson, who's one of our guests tonight. We're going to have Judge Lucasy, who's going to come on after Judge Anderson. But I wanted to bring Judge Anderson on because, you know, we have had a series of individuals that are running for office that are coming on to Memphis 360. And we said we want to bring them on because we want you to get to know them as individuals. We want you to get to know them in their jobs, in their roles, because it's election time. Let's be perfectly honest, okay? And a lot of people just don't know the individuals that are running. So we wanted to make this show so that it could avail the individuals that are running. And welcome to the show, Judge Anderson. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you very much.
Okay. I hear you were endorsed by the Memphis Police Association.
I was, thanks in part to you, obviously, part to you and your leadership.
Didn't have anything to do with me. I'm away from the Police Association right now, and they're doing great and wonderful things over there. But I wanted to tell the viewing audience a little bit of. I don't want to get to Judge Anderson yet. I want to talk a little bit about Bill Anderson.
Okay.
Are you a native Memphian?
Born and raised in Memphis. My parents are both from Chicago.
Okay.
My father got transferred to Memphis before my oldest sister was born, so I have a younger sister, myself, and an older sister. We're all three born and raised here. I went to grade school out in Raleigh, where we had moved. I went to Catholic High School in Memphis.
Catholic?
Which was Catholic High at the time. In my senior year, it mixed with Sacred Heart High School and Father Bertrand High School.
Father Bertrand.
Memphis Catholic.
Okay.
So I was in the first graduating class of Memphis Catholic High.
Wow.
And 3 years before, I was Catholic High.
Okay.
Great experience. Then I had left home at 17 before my senior year, right during my senior year, because my father was a World War II vet, but he was also a very bad alcoholic.
Okay.
And I didn't want to stay in those circumstances, and I left and was able to live with a friend of mine my senior year in high school, and we rode the same bus to high school, so it worked out fine. And then I went to college 1 year at UT Martin and ran out of money.
Wow.
And my father wouldn't sign my student loan for the second year, so I came back to Memphis, moved in with a friend of mine, and went to Memphis State University, where I graduated in 2.5 years with my undergraduate degree in criminal justice.
Wow.
Went to work immediately in the criminal justice field. I was a counselor at a youth institution in Somerville, Tennessee. Then I moved back into Memphis and went to work with probation and parole for 3 or 4 years. And then I decided 5 years after out of undergraduate to go to law school. All of this paying for myself, working the whole time, and paying for it. But so I did like Judge Lucasy will tell you, went to law school at Memphis State at night, which was the only way I could have gone to law school. 4 years. The whole time I was there, I was working for Pretrial Services, which is an agency near and dear to you.
Right.
And me.
Right. Yes, sir.
It was a very young program back there, and has just blossomed into doing fabulous work now. Graduated law school, knew exactly what I wanted to do. I wanted to practice criminal law. Started practicing, hung a shingle out myself. And 27 years later, I was still practicing criminal defense law and decided I thought I was ready to be a judge.
Wow.
So there was a vacancy through half of a judge's term, which gave me 4 years left if I were to be elected to establish that court. And I was fortunate enough to prevail in that election against 19 of my very close colleagues who all wanted to be judges. And then 4 years later, ran again and was fortunate enough to be reelected. And now we're back after that 8-year term.
So how long have you been on the bench now?
12 years.
12 years, okay. Been on the bench 12 years. Now, how did you end up, because Judge Anderson actually works in one of the specialty courts, and it's the Veterans Court. So how did you get involved in that?
Well, a man that worked for Congressman Cohen
Okay.
came to me one day, a man named Randy Wade. Great guy. I knew Randy a little bit, but he said, Judge, I got a proposition for you. We'd like to see if you consider starting a veterans court.
Okay.
I said, Randy, I have no earthly idea what you're talking about.
Right.
I was not a veteran. I didn't have to go to Vietnam. My number was too high in the lottery, so I was able to stay out of that. And I said, but I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll look into it. I'll see what I can find out. And if I think I can do it right, and I think it's worthwhile, I know it's worthwhile, or you wouldn't be here, I'll do it.
Right.
So long story short, I agreed to do it. We actually worked on all of the ins and outs of it for a year, a solid year. We would meet monthly and with all the players who were going to be involved, the VA, pretrial services, the prosecutor's office, the public defender's office. And 10 years ago this month, July 15th, we opened our doors and took in the first veteran.
So you were pretty much on the ground level and the implementing or the implementation of the Veterans Court here in the city of Memphis.
Yes, sir. You have to have a judge who wants to do a court, and in this particular case, a veterans court, in order to have it work.
Okay.
Because you're getting your clients, your people from the jail.
So evidently you feel as though, or you felt as though, at the time it was a request from Steve Cohen and his entourage. But after you've been there for 10 years, do you feel that there is a need for a specialty court for veterans?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Every day that I've been in that court, I've learned something new. I came in totally ignorant, knew nothing about the military, knew nothing about the nuances of the military, and frankly didn't know about war and the effects of war other than what I saw on television.
Right.
My father was a World War II veteran, as I said, but he never talked about being in the war. So I didn't learn anything growing up, and all of his friends were World War II folks.
Veterans.
But in the last 10 years, I have become so much more educated and passionate about the plight of our veterans in our country, and have come to see that they are so woefully underappreciated.
Wow.
Woefully underappreciated,
Wow.
and especially the female veterans, which is really shocking to us. But yes, it's gone from an idea to a passion. It's my baby, and it's the most rewarding thing I've ever done in my legal career. It's also the most probably stressful and challenging thing, and continues to be, because there's so many veterans that come in with so many issues that we deal with, and have been able to build up enough staff now and enough resources to where we can handle just about everything.
Yeah. And I tell people, I served 21 years in the Army. I'm a veteran, and I definitely know about the nuances because I have a lot of friends that we served or went over to Iraq. We were in Afghanistan. I actually jumped into Iraq with 5th Special Forces Group, and thank God I'm still kind of together. But even when it comes to counseling, I tell a lot of people I had to get counseling. I had to go to counseling because of post-traumatic stress disorder, and just to be able to kind of make it. So I can imagine, and I don't think I do know a lot of people realize a lot of the homeless individuals that are downtown and running around, a lot of those individuals are veterans. Now, you said that in particular the females, how the females are. What do they have some particular interests or?
Well, many of the female veterans we get are victims of what's called military sexual trauma.
Yes. Okay, there you go.
Sexual trauma
Yeah.
visited on them, not only by foreign folks where we've been fighting.
By our folks.
But our own
Yeah,
folks.
yeah, yeah.
And it is very real and very traumatic, as
Wow.
you can imagine. And that is their PTSD.
Okay.
Is the having been forced into that. So, and the VA still to this date is not, I don't think, in Memphis has a particularized female unit
Okay.
to treat the females for that. So we are on a mission to try to also develop a home,
Come on.
a group home type of settlement where you can have not just the women, but the women and the children.
Okay.
Because you can't treat the mother without them worrying about and taking care of the children.
Okay. Okay.
You can do that with the men a lot of times just because there's usually a woman involved with the children.
Wow.
Not always, but
Okay.
usually. But, so that's one of the things our next 10 years we're going to be doing. We have one for men. We have a home in Memphis for three courts, three specialty courts, the mental health court, the drug court, and the veterans court.
Wow.
A housing place on Bellevue, North Bellevue.
Okay.
33 beds where we each split up. We try to make it to where our veterans who need a place to stay, we make them the leaders. We expect them to show the leadership over the drug kids that are in there and help the mental health guys that are in there.
Wow.
And it's worked out tremendous in the last, I think it's been in existence now for 5 years.
See,
Really worked.
those are the types of things that we need in this community. And it shows that, we care about the individuals and especially when you talk about the veterans, those that have served, and you never know what they have been through, because I will tell you firsthand, some of the things that individuals saw, it's hard to explain to people, but, I can remember when I jumped into Iraq or jumped into Kuwait, it was a live minefield and there were bodies in the minefield, and when we went up the Al-Basra highway, it was called the Highway of Death, it was body parts everywhere. It was blown up vehicles, and I mean, this is not something that you could just let go of, you know what I mean? And it manifests itself in different ways in different individuals and how they deal with it. And a lot of Army or Marines or Navy or Air Force, individuals that have been exposed to that, you're taught to be tough, you're taught to be strong, you're taught to push through and all of those things, but eventually, if you do not get some type of help, you're either going to try to self-medicate, be it alcohol, be it drugs, you're going to become violent, which leads to domestic situations or altercations out in the public, and you act out in certain ways. And believe it or not, I could find myself kind of going down those paths. But I had the wherewithal to say, hey, look, something ain't right.
Right.
Something's not right. So
Well, you
I need to.
hit every nail right on the head.
Yes, sir.
Everybody, our director and I were talking the other day, and I guess I didn't really realize it, but the military is the only job in the world where the first thing they teach you to do is kill another human being.
Yeah.
Kill another human being.
Yeah.
Now, we're just not wired like
That's
that.
your job.
Yeah, that's your job, your responsibility, and to watch your partner's back, to defend your country, which is great. I understand that that's the way that has to be taught. But then it's very difficult after you've been there and seen what you've seen and what other veterans have seen to come back and turn that off.
Right.
Completely turn that off, because we're just not programmed like that. Everybody's different.
Right.
And many people come back and have no issues at all. But many people come back and have issues that were just exacerbated by their service. They had problems before they went into the service.
Correct.
They were running away from home. They were running away from a bad situation.
From the law.
They were looking for a job, a steady job. So,
Yeah.
we don't, in the volunteer Army, we don't have many graduates of Harvard and Yale that join the Army.
That is correct. That is
so
correct.
It's and every situation is different.
So what kind of programs are available through the Veterans Court?
We are a wraparound court.
Okay, there you go.
We get them into our court, and my promise has always been, if we don't have the service that we need, we're going to find it.
Okay.
Veterans don't pay a dime to be in the court. Most of them, when they finish the program and graduate, and they don't graduate until everybody in our program agrees they're ready to graduate.
Wow.
But when they do, they don't owe a dime. Their charges are usually dismissed and expunged
Okay.
from their record. And they're going back to hopefully a better life, and a life that they have so richly earned, in my opinion.
So they're given
And
a second
deserve.
opportunity at life.
Absolutely.
Okay, outstanding.
It's the best program, I say it's the best program in Shelby County that nobody knows anything about.
That nobody, and I'm going to tell you, I didn't know anything about it until I actually came and started working in General Sessions, and I stuck my head in the door one day and I saw Veterans Court, and I'm sitting there going, okay, let me see what this is all about. Hopefully I won't end up here, but let me see what this is all about. And as I continue to just kind of stick my head in the door and to ask questions and talk to some of the courtroom clerks and different things like that about what goes on in the court and things that were available and how it was catered toward veterans and giving veterans the opportunity at a second chance. I was sold. I was like, this is the bomb. These are the types of things that we need to help individuals that are coming back that have served their country. Because a lot of them find themselves going off the deep end or off the edge or getting off track, and some of them just need help getting back on track.
They don't deserve to be in jail.
Yeah, just getting back on track. So, what's the future of the Veteran Court? What do you have planned?
Well, after 10 years, we are finally what I consider to be fully staffed.
Okay.
We have enough people, case managers that are all master's degree level or higher.
Wow.
We have 3 of those. We have a full staff, our ideal complement that we think we need going forward for any amount of veterans that we have coming into the program.
And
Okay.
I got to give a shout out. I'm sorry.
Sure.
What's that guy's name that kind of run all of that stuff?
Jerry Easter.
Jerry Easter. I had to give a shout out to Jerry Easter. I'm telling you, he's your dude. He kind of makes all that stuff happen.
Jerry is, I practiced law with Jerry. He practiced law for 40 years.
Really?
He is a Vietnam veteran.
He's an attorney?
He's been an attorney. He still is.
I
About
didn't.
to retire when I grabbed him.
Wow, I didn't even know that.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And he carries 2 Purple Hearts from Vietnam, PTSD rating.
Wow. Wow.
He will be the first to tell you that he has issues.
Okay.
Just like, and had issues all through his life. He was
Yeah.
just fortunate to be able to
Exactly.
compartmentalize it and
Exactly.
but it's still things bother him.
Yeah, yeah.
But he is so passionate about what he does and what we do
Mm-hmm.
that he doesn't let anybody slack up.
Right.
Which is fabulous, because I don't let him slack. Because if
Jerry
we
Easter,
slack
yeah.
up, we're not doing our jobs and we're not serving enough folks that we can serve.
That is
And we're
correct.
not doing it as 100% that we need to do.
That is correct. I watch him. He be moving around, just making things happening and doing stuff, And it's always good to be able to look at individuals and to glean from them and take a little bit of it back to where you're going, And I've spoken with him. We've had the opportunity to speak on several occasions, and I was like, wow, this guy here, he is somebody to watch, and I can probably learn something from him. So I wanted to send Jerry a shout out because, hey,
He always says he's the XO and I'm the CO.
you the CEO. That's
I don't know what those two, I know what they do now.
Yeah, yeah.
But he's the bad guy and he considers me the good guy, although I have to get on folks too.
Well, yeah. But I think you're doing an excellent job. Okay, I know you're running for office. You're running to be reelected as the Veterans Court, Division 7 Veterans Court judge once again.
Well, I'm running for reelection as General Sessions Criminal Court Judge, Division 7.
Okay.
The Veterans Court is a separate and entirely different part. It's not even affiliated with Shelby County, frankly.
Okay.
It's a man-made court, for lack of
Okay.
a better
Okay.
term, and it operates as long as we want it to operate.
Outstanding. Okay.
So it's not, if I were, I mean, you don't have to assume it if you come into this position.
Okay.
So yes,
Wow.
I'm running for that, and to keep on a mission
Keep the
that I've been
Veterans
doing
Court
for 10
going.
years that I'm so dearly committed to.
Okay, Judge Anderson, look at that camera right there and tell these people why they should reelect Bill Anderson for General Sessions Criminal Court Division 7. I say so we can keep our Veterans Court going because, like he said, don't really necessarily have to, and they're doing great and wonderful things, don't necessarily have to assume those responsibilities if you get Division 7. Tell them.
Well, number one, I'm going to continue as long as I'm there. Number two, my main job, as I say, is to be a judge.
Right.
And I have always demanded of myself that I will be what I vow to be, fair and impartial. As simple as that sounds, that is our job.
All right.
Being a judge is not a popularity contest. You're going to have 50% of the people unhappy at whatever you render in the court, usually.
Right.
Somebody's going to be happy, somebody's not going to be happy. So it's not a popularity contest.
Right.
It is a very necessary job for our country to function under our Constitution, and I take it very seriously, and I will continue. And that's all I can tell you.
Okay.
I'm going to do my job.
Right. Hey, and I want to thank you so much. Like I said, I've been watching the Veterans Court. I've been watching all of the courts down in General Sessions, and I'm going to tell you, people, they are busy. Even during the pandemic, when everybody else was kind of slacking up and different things like that, they had to ensure that individuals' constitutional rights were preserved and that they had the right to a speedy trial, arraignments, and all of that good stuff. It still had to go on. All of those things behind the scene when everybody else was at home, confined, and different things like that. Yeah, we found different ways to do it, but they still ensured that those individuals' constitutional rights were preserved. So I want to thank you for all that you do. I really appreciate, and I love the Veterans Court. I want to thank you for what you're doing for those individuals that have served our country.
It is 100% my pleasure.
Okay, thank you. Okay, we're going to go ahead on and go to another commercial break, but don't touch that dial because now we're going to have Judge Ronald Lucasy, who is the General Sessions judge, criminal court judge for Division 12. And we're going to see what Judge Lucasy is talking about. He is also a native Memphian. Look at all these good people we got. Memphis, man, let me tell you something. I don't care what nobody say. This is my city. I love Memphis. And we have a lot of good, creative, innovative, hard-charging, smart individuals that are products of the city of Memphis. So don't touch that dial. We'll be right back after this commercial break.
Hey folks, it's Issa Haddad here. I got some good news and a special invitation for you to come see me here at Sunrise, Collierville. Come on down, check out my inventory with new, pre-owned, and certified vehicles to choose from. I can get you financed when no one else can. Come on by, bring your family. I treat you like family. Come see me, Issa, here at the #1 dealership in the Mid-South, 4605 Houston Levy Road, Sunrise, Collierville. Come on down, check out my inventory with hundreds of vehicles to choose from, pre-owned, new, and certified.
Good news from Sunrise Chevrolet. Get in your new vehicle today. Come on in, ask for Issa. Bankrupt, slow pay, bad credit, it's okay. Let Issa put you in your brand new truck or car today when you shop at Sunrise Chevrolet, Collierville.
And don't forget, ask for me, Issa.
For over 20 years, OPOX has been keeping the Mid-South
Warm in the winter and cool in the summer.
OPOX is family owned and operated, so our family will take care of yours every step of the way. And right now, you can double up and save. Buy a new AC unit and get 50% off a new furnace to match it. Count on OPOX for fast and professional heating and cooling services. Count on OPOX.
SVP, SVP TV, we're family for all your needs. SVP, SVP TV, we're family. We're gonna make you fall in love. SVP. We're gonna make you fall in love. SVP TV. SVP. SVP TV.
Looking for something new? We thought so. SVP is mixing things up, and digital TV, it'll never be the same.
SVP TV. We're family. We're gonna make you fall in love. SVP.
Download the SVP app today on Roku, Apple, and Fire TV. Watch us. You know why?
We're gonna make you fall in love. SVP TV.
We'd like to welcome you back to Memphis 360. Man, we just had a good segment with Judge Bill Anderson, who is Criminal Court Division 7 Veterans Court, General Sessions. And he's off on vacation. All right, probably well deserved. And now we have Judge Ronald Lucasy in the studio. He is General Sessions, Criminal Court Division 12. Welcome to the show, sir.
Good to be here.
How are you?
I'm just fine.
Well, good. Okay, so we're going to go through the same rigmarole that we went through with Judge Anderson. So tell the citizens of Shelby County, the citizens of Memphis, a little bit about you.
Well, practiced law for 40 years before I became a judge.
Jesus.
Three of those years with a medium-sized law firm, and then I went off on my own.
Okay.
And formed my own practice. I've been in almost every court in this county, with the exception of probate court, which I've never been there, and I haven't been to a tax court. But federal courts and state courts, I've been to all of them.
Okay.
After 40 years of it, I felt like I wanted to become a judge because
Wow.
I'd already done 40 years as a lawyer, and I ran for judge in Division 8. Won the judgeship.
Okay.
Or Division 12, I'm sorry.
Okay.
I've been there for 8 years. A little difference.
Okay.
And I'm finishing up the 8 years this term, and I'm going to run for another 8 years.
So this would be your second term.
This will be my second term coming up.
Okay. But guess what? We're going to digress a little bit because, see, Judge Lucasy, he jumped right into judgeship. I want to know about Ronald Lucasy. You're not related to that gangster, are you?
No, you know, I get questions. That's the New York crime family.
Okay.
They spell their name a little bit different. They put an E on the end of the name. We put an I on the name.
Okay.
End of Lucasy. But
So tell me where Ronald Lucasy come from. Give me a little bit of your upbringing.
Well,
because I want the people to know Ronald Lucasy and then we'll get into the judgeship.
I was born in Memphis, Tennessee.
There you go.
Went 2 years to undergraduate school at UT.
Okay.
Fell in love with a lady.
Oh, wow. That always do
Got
it, sir.
married. Decided I needed to come back to Memphis. I had way too many friends in Knoxville.
Okay.
And I thought that might interfere with things. Finished up undergraduate school here. Needed a job because the whole time I was refusing to take money from my parents.
Okay.
My father made it on his own, and I decided I was going to make it on my own.
Mm-hmm.
So I knew I was going to law school, so I sat out 1 year, got a job in Tunica, Mississippi, and I don't have an education degree. My undergraduate degree is in business administration.
Okay.
But I had to have 6 hours of education courses. So I sat out 1 year before law school, got my education number of hours in for that so that I could teach. And I went to high school at Christian Brothers.
Wow.
Kind of upper middle class.
Yeah.
nobody really, no one got in trouble there because we were terrified to. And I just really thought all high schools would work that way.
So did they have nuns there or brothers
No, they had
there?
brothers.
They had brothers.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I figured, I found the poorest school system in the United States, which was in Tunica, Mississippi. So I went down there, applied for the job, and they gave me the job immediately. They just desegregated the schools.
Okay.
And all of the white students all moved off. I had 9 white students, I think, when I got down there.
Wow.
And started teaching down there because I figured, maybe I can impart part of the way the high school I went to here. Well, it was a difficult situation. Tunica was just really a poor county. It really was.
Okay.
And it was a bigger challenge than I really anticipated. But you throw yourself into it, and apparently the kids liked me. Since I've been a judge, I've had 3 of my students, 3 young ladies, call me and say, because you were going to law school at night while you were teaching us during the daytime, I went off to law school.
What?
3 of them.
3 of them.
And I thought that was all. And a lot of them have become successful. They'll come in and see me. They're living in Memphis or living all over the country now.
Okay.
And about a month ago, the lawyer who is the Memphis International Airport's lawyer, in-house counsel, she also meets the important people that come through town.
Right.
She's talking to a man who owns a company that oversees every airport in the United States.
Wow.
He's moved. He lives in North Carolina. And after they got finished, she said, you want to go around the town? I'd like to show you Memphis. He said, I grew up here. He said, I was born in Tunica, Mississippi. And he said, since you're a lawyer, do you know Ronald Lucasy? He taught us while I was in law school, or while I was in high school. And he said, I think I became what I am because of him. He leaned on me. He says, look, you got to do better. You got to apply yourself. So I said, man, that really excited me. So I got his phone number, called him. He lives in North Carolina now. Talked to him for a little while. And the next time he's in Memphis, told him I'm going to take you out to dinner and we're going to talk over this stuff. He said, not only that, but you taught my brother.
Wow.
He is now he's a lawyer and a law professor at Ole Miss University.
See there. See, you never know the impact that you're going to have on an individual's life. And this is why I wanted to go back, because these are the type of things that people need to know. The mayor didn't just become the mayor. The county commissioners didn't just become the county commissioners. Mike Williams didn't just become Mike Williams. There was a road to get there. And on that road, you talked about how you went to UT for 2 years and then you got married and, then I saw some struggles in there because you had to come back to Memphis. Well, maybe not struggles, but some hurdles. You had to come back to Memphis. Then you had to go to law school at night. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people think, they'd be like, I want to be the judge. And it's kind of like, well, you can be a judge, but you got to go through those things that Ron Lucasy went through to get to a judgeship. It didn't just happen overnight,
Exactly.
Okay. So how do you feel? So tell us a little bit about you got elected to Division 12. How has that been, and what have you seen?
It's been wonderful.
Okay.
I've thoroughly enjoyed the job. I rarely take a day off because I enjoy being there.
Okay.
More than I do being on vacation. But it's an interesting job. You talked to the last judge. Judge Anderson has a specialized court.
Right.
There are 4 specialized courts. There's domestic violence, there's drug court, there's veterans court, and there's
environmental?
Environmental court.
Environmental.
Because we never see them. They're up on the 14th floor
Yes,
now.
sir.
They do whatever they do up there.
Right.
But Division 11, 12, 13, and 15 handle just general sessions matters. All of the misdemeanors come through there, DUIs, shoplifting charges, and all of that. But we also have the felony cases. We handle this week I've had 3 murder preliminary hearings.
Wow.
I've had, today I had a armed robbery.
Wow.
you know, you
I don't think a lot of people understand. Anytime anybody's locked up, the first place they stop is general sessions.
exactly.
To be arraigned. And Jenny Lynn said, "Who is this?" And I said, "Jenny, this is Judge Ronald Lucasy. He is the sitting judge in General Sessions Criminal Court Division 12. Ron Lucasy, General Sessions Criminal Court Division 12." But what I was saying was, a lot of people don't realize before it's kicked up to criminal court or wherever it goes after that, everybody has to come through General Sessions to be arraigned and all that other stuff prior to them being sent to the other courts and all of that kind of stuff. So when he was talking about he had 3 murder,
2 murders.
well, two murders.
Just 2 this week.
Just 2 this week. That's enough, sir. That's more than enough. But they're handling murder cases, robbery, home invasions, you name it. It all comes through General Sessions initially anyway. And these are the guys that are handling. So you say you've enjoyed it thoroughly your first term.
Well, I practiced 40 years on the other side. I'd handled civil cases,
Okay.
handled criminal cases.
Okay.
And I enjoyed the criminal law a lot more than I did the civil law.
Really?
If I had to sit in a civil courtroom listening to a divorce or somebody who can't pay the utility bill or, you know, whatever, they got their car repossessed, I'd be pulling my hair out.
FEDs, man.
And
FEDs.
Those
Woo,
are
Lord
when you get
Jesus.
put out of your
Civil
apartment.
warrants
Yeah.
and all of that kind of stuff.
But this is enjoyable.
Okay.
And, you know, you're oftentimes put in a position where you can try to help somebody.
Okay.
You know, if you put them on probation down there, you have to be strict with them.
Right.
And, you know, if they mess up, you know, they realize they got jail hanging over their head. So, you know, at least I have an opportunity maybe to have the same impact on some people that I did on the kids in Tunica, Mississippi. At least I hope it did.
So what is this new law that's going to go into effect July the 1st? The one that's going to individuals that are charged with murder, they're charged with robbery, they're charged with
Sentencing law?
Yeah. Truth in sentencing. That's
Truth
it.
in
Truth
sentencing.
in sentencing law. I got Stephanie Cunningham Repolgal. She says she's very happy about the new Tennessee law for violent crimes starting July the 1st. So can you talk a little bit about that?
Well, it's really not going to apply to us. The most jail time I can give anybody downstairs is 11 months and 29
days for misdemeanors.
And that's misdemeanors.
Yes, sir.
Now, the felonies, what we do is we have a preliminary hearing. If there's probable cause, we send them up for a jury trial.
Okay.
So that's the end of it. I'll have maybe a 30, 45-minute hearing down there. And,
Okay.
And if the state meets their criteria, they go upstairs for a jury trial.
Right.
But the misdemeanors is basically all we can handle. So truth in sentencing really doesn't apply to us,
to general sessions.
because every judge, the most you can get down there is 11 months and 29 days, and that's it.
Wow.
But if you're charged with a more serious crime, we couldn't sentence you down there, so
Right.
we have to send them upstairs. A lot of times they'll work out maybe a guilty plea downstairs, maybe a 5-year sentence on something that
Oh, really?
would carry more time. They get it worked out. We send it upstairs, and within 2 or 3 weeks, they can plead guilty to it, and usually they even have probation worked out and all of that, so
Okay,
that people know
okay.
what's going to happen.
Okay.
And it's kind of a rehabilitation thing. A lot of these are first offender people that, you know, you're not willing to, the state's not willing to reduce it down to a misdemeanor, but, you know, they're willing to give them a break on the felony charge. Maybe say,
Right.
look, you're going to have to do 6 months in jail to learn your lesson.
Okay.
Then we're going to put you on probation for 5 years.
Right.
And, you know, at least we're in a position where we can at least hopefully save these people from a life of crime.
Stephanie, I'm going to tell you, I'm glad about the truth in sentencing law. You know, and don't get me wrong, I don't want anybody to be locked up for a long time. But there has to be consequences for your actions. That's just Mike Williams speaking. And hopefully this is going to stop some of the recidivism that's happening here in the city of Memphis, because a lot of people, do you see a lot of the same people come through the courts?
You see? Yes.
Okay.
And some people you can't help. One of the preliminary hearings today, what was incredible about it is two 30-year-old men
Right, right.
robbed one of their best friends at gunpoint.
What?
Stole his car, carjacked him, and then looked surprised when he came into court and picked him out as being the people who robbed him and stole his car.
I guess they didn't expect him
And
to.
you have to just shake your head sometimes and think, yeah.
Wow. But that is amazing, and that's the issue. We have, and it's not just Memphis. Let me make sure it's not just Memphis, because this is happening all over the place,
Everywhere.
and all cities, especially metropolitan areas where there's a high concentration of high population. Because when you look at Chicago, even though Chicago is a beautiful place and they got so much stuff going on, man, you go down on Lakeshore Drive, it's really, really, really beautiful. But I think last year alone they had like 800-900 homicides. Their population is a lot bigger than ours as well. I think we had 300 and something possibly, but they had like 800 homicides. But I think they got like 2-point-something million people as well. But here in the city of Memphis and here in the state of Tennessee, yes, July the 1st, the Truth in Sentencing law goes into place. And a lot of individuals have been pushing for stiffer penalties for individuals that are repeat offenders and continue to commit crimes, because it makes our life just a little bit harder. You know, you're out here, you're working hard, you're trying to do the right thing, you're trying to stay straight, you're trying to provide for your family, you're trying to enjoy, because Memphis is beautiful. Shelby County is beautiful, man. I love the woods, I love the parks, I love all of that good stuff. But then you have to worry about, you don't want to be a victim of crime either. So, Truth in Sentencing, yes, Stephanie Cunningham, that's going into effect July the 1st, which is actually tomorrow. Anyway, okay. So you've been on the bench for 12 years now.
8 years.
8 years. That was Judge Anderson 12. You've been on there for 8 years because you ran last time and actually got elected.
Correct.
Okay. And you are running again?
I am.
Okay. And what can we expect from Judge Lucasy when he's reelected?
Well, I'm going to continue to be fair to both sides, because
Okay.
that's part of the job, and basically I'm just going to follow the law. That's all you can do.
Right.
All the judge can do is follow the law and apply the law the way the law reads.
All right.
And if they change the law, then you have to change the way you handle things. Insofar as the Truth in Sentencing law goes, that's kind of interesting. When I first started practicing law, when you tried a jury trial, you could tell the jury what the maximum penalty was for whatever, they were charged with several different crimes. And a lot of times, a defense attorney can make the jury kind of feel sorry for their client.
Right.
And they're, they're looking at 25 years and they're going, well, that's too much time for this. The jury would give them a lesser sentence. Can't do that anymore. They saw where that was a problem. It's strictly up to the judge now, and the judge upstairs has got his strict set of guidelines as to what he has to sentence them to. So they've eliminated that issue. Where these truth in sentencing comes in is when a jury thinks they've given somebody 20 years, they're not going to do 20 years. They're going to be doing, probably a third of that. And that's not what, that makes the public unhappy.
Right.
Because, somebody who's been robbed would like for them to do the entire 30 or 40 years.
Yes.
And that's
been a victim of crime.
That's just human nature.
Somebody was asking, do you know how the new law compares to Mississippi?
I have no.
I guess.
I really don't know what goes on in Mississippi.
Okay.
I would never handle a case down there, but
Right.
I know that I have handled some cases down there, but I always had a Mississippi lawyer to show me the ins and outs of what you do.
So when you were handling cases in Mississippi, were they criminal or civil?
I've handled both.
Or both?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've handled both.
Well, I'm quite sure 40 years of practicing law, you kind of been, especially being in this little corner, you know, Mississippi, Arkansas. What about Arkansas? You tried anything in
I tried
Arkansas?
stuff in Arkansas. I've handled cases in Texas.
Wow, wow.
I had a client that got into oil well drilling back in the 80s, and we drilled 9 oil wells. And I used to fly to Dallas every couple of weeks and work out contracts and work out leases on property to drill oil wells.
Okay.
I've done pretty much everything.
Well, good. What is that? Don't expect more from the youth of Memphis than the officials. You know you're being hard, Algawat. Just going to be very interesting. Yeah, you're being hard, Algawat. But anyway, this is Judge Ron Lucasy. He is in Division 12, General Sessions Criminal Court, and he is actually running for office again. We want to definitely thank you, sir, so much for coming on.
I really appreciate being here.
Can you tell the individuals out there in TV land, Facebook land, why should they vote Judge Ron Lucasy back in as General Sessions Criminal Court Division 12?
Well, the only thing any judge can promise you is that they'll follow the law and apply it accordingly, and listen to the facts and make sure that they're trying to make a good decision. That's all I can promise.
Right.
I'll do my job as the law requires it to be done, and I'll show up every day, and I'll try to be a good judge, as good a judge as I can be.
Right. And I will tell you, just from my experience being in General Sessions for the last approximately July, August, September, July, August. For the last 22 months, 22 months, actually, it'll be 22 months today. I will tell you that I guess I'm partial to a lot of the judges that are down in General Sessions because I have actually seen them in action. I have, Clerk Brown has done Expungement Clinics. We had a no-cost clinic last year. I want to thank you so much for coming out. We went out to Southbrook Mall, and this is to eliminate the costs for individuals. We do pre-screenings. We're actually going to have one on the 30th of July this year as well, which is going to be at Southbrook Mall. We do pre-screenings as opposed to just a walk-in expungement clinic, and what that does is allow a lot of attorneys to actually look at the individual cases to make sure that these records can be expunged. I think we got Manhood University that's coming online. They're going to provide a lot of the funding that are going to pay for some of the fees that cannot be alleviated, especially when it comes to drive as you pay. We're going to have Tennessee Highway Department of Motor Vehicles there. They're going to bring their van in. They're going to be making licenses right on the spot for those individuals that have been cleared. Oh man, it's good stuff. But you got to sign up. You got to go and register ahead of time. And if you want to see if in fact you qualify, you can go on Facebook to Clerk Joe W. Brown Facebook page, and it'll give you a link to the site to where you can go and pre-fill out the paperwork and different things like that. But I said all of that to say that Judge Lucasy, Judge Anderson, Judge Lambert Ryan, and it was somebody else.
Montesi.
Judge Montesi. Those guys came down last year, about this time, Southbrook Mall, and they actually held court in Southbrook Mall. And we're going to do the same thing on the 30th of July. We're going to have court once again for those individuals that qualify, and to see if we can help some individuals in the community and give back to the community. So we really appreciate if you would go ahead, and if you feel that you want to get your records clear, you want to get your driver's license back, it don't cost you anything but going on to one of the sites, filling out the information, and seeing if you pre-qualify. Hey, I want to thank you guys so much, so much